That's fine, thank you.
Okay.
So,
We started making basses, and I never thought I could get him to play our bass because he's so attached to that bass.
I can understand.
Right. So we started
That
making.
poor bass that's a museum piece.
Yeah. Well, that was it. I started thinking, well, if anything, when he goes to travel, who wants to bring that with? I mean, just the value of it,
Right.
sentimental value alone.
But he sent one of his basses down, and it sounded good. I plugged
Well,
it
you're
in the
missing the
board.
best part of the story. So I get his phone number. He doesn't like it because he sounds a little bit like a jerk. I get his phone number.
Now,
From
what was that again? What?
Well, you'll hear. I get his phone number from
Who sounded like a jerk?
Joe.
Ah! Not
Oh, he
no!
didn't sound
Oh,
Sounded like a jerk.
no! Not on the phone.
Asshole is
Well, yeah, that
not
was
jerk.
right, more accurate. So I got his phone number from the writer who did the
I
article.
always dread calling Joe on the phone.
Well, but he
Hi,
hung up.
go around, I'll get him. Oh, shit.
I answered the phone and he hung up.
Well, I called just well, that was jerky of me.
Oh,
I
you mean
called.
you?
Well, I called,
You never hung up, at least on me.
No, I wouldn't.
but I got his number from a writer who last talked to him on '92, and this was '97. So I had this letter and written with it, and I don't know why I called the number that he gave me just to see if somebody was there, just to see if somebody was at that residence. So I wasn't just sending a letter off to nobody. And Joe answered, and I just hung up. I was like, all right, someone's there. Here goes the letter. Well, this guy puts that star 69 or what. There's something you can do on the phone. So
Caller
we'll
ID. That's the
call,
number.
That's
call-
it. Star 6, that's right.
and
Well, I had
that
his name and everything, caller ID, and I
phone
called him
rang.
back.
The phone rang 30 seconds after I hung up on him.
That's where you can check the last person you called.
Right.
Star 69.
So
Yeah.
I pick up the phone. I hear this.
Yeah, star 69.
He says, "Who is this? You called me. What do you want?
In fact,
Who do you want? Who
told me
are
that
you?
earlier this morning.
Right. Who are you? Who are you? What do you want?" Not just.
That
quick-
can't be Joe. Not Joe.
He told me, he said he wanted to send me a bass, so he did. I plugged it into the board, gave it a good test. It sounded great, but it didn't feel good. And so I told him that.
You said it felt closer, but not there yet. And I wanted to make a bass this style, anyways. This Fender jazz bass is used by thousands of players.
And you didn't even want a jazz to begin with.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
nobody had ever seen one. I didn't know what it
Yeah,
was.
because yours is almost a prototype.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct.
September of 1960. Yeah. I opened that up. What are they trying to pull? What is this?
Fender Precision bass is the ones everybody had.
That's right.
Single pickup. Much wider neck.
Much right. That's right. So how's my bass?
It feels good. So he said, bring your old bass up and we'll fix you up. He did. We spent 2 days testing pickups to match the sound of the old one. Found something real close. I think we're gonna do a little more of that.
Maybe you are. No, I'm just kidding.
You're gonna send it.
I have to tell
I
you,
think we got it, Joe.
you guys have achieved it.
Yeah.
No, there's some other things some other options we might want to offer. But this, as the original goes, replacement for the original, I'm okay with this. But when we're at the show, about 5 other pickup companies came up to us, people that make the electronics, and they see our bass advertised and see how it's doing, and they want to be a part of it. So we got all kinds of samples to test.
It won't, after today, though, I don't care much about testing anymore, but it wouldn't hurt.
All I know is the Japanese, who are very, very big Carpenters fans, also pay attention to studio players. Joe shows up to do our concert there in '97. They receive him better than they receive me. Yamaha takes him and offers him any bass he wants, from the most expensive to the most inexpensive. And you played them all, and I think one of the ones you picked was one of the least inexpensive. Is that right, Joe?
Which Yamaha did you pick? Cheap one or expensive one?
It was a
It
cheaper
was
one.
a blue one with the gold, had the gold hardware, long neck. And
It was a cheaper one, I was told.
Yeah.
You just like the feel of it, that's all. So you played it for one night.
Well, half an hour.
Half a night, you said.
Okay, half a night. And immediately,
Well, you
you
did
know,
you
you
hear
could
it?
tell from the licks that Joe Osborn was playing it, but it didn't sound like,
Nah.
it didn't sound anything like his Fenders.
And it started not
And
to
that's
feel
what
good
I was
either.
worried about here.
Oh.
But this does sound like his, only better. I don't know about mine, but the one he's been playing.
That sounds.
Double
But
stop.
you're saying they all pretty much sound the same.
Well, there's a.
That note usually doesn't ring as evenly with the top note. When you do that, you can hear the whole thing.
Boom, 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 boom,
Listen to that
boom,
without mud.
boom,
Yes, we can.
boom.
You gotta cut the next one with that. I bet you better
So-
sound the same.
What are you telling me?
How well the bass, how it sustains and how it rings with those double stops, how clean that is with no mud.
Let's do another one. Which
You know, another battle was getting the strings. You've been through that with them.
I
You
know.
got the strings. But the company that originally made the strings, sent us some strings and they weren't right. Joe would tell them that they were the wrong gauge or diameter or whatever. That's how this. They said they never made them that way or we never got them right.
I'd find Lavella. I'd find a set I liked, and I would go back to get some more, and they never made that.
That's what they tell them on the phone. They never made that.
But when your original set wore out, you gave them to me.
I think you
Yeah.
said three.
And I brought them back.
No, you gave me one, I
Well,
lost it.
you only asked for one.
I know, but I lost it. So if we ever want to check and see, I might find it.
You said E string. That's what you told me you
Yeah, we
needed.
never played the E that much anyways.
But he was
Because
gonna
they're
take
in the back of that
Are they still
amp
there? Still
of
there?
yours.
Yeah.
And I asked Robert to bring it to the Capitol, and I said, I know those strings, when you said they were shot, you took them off your bass, you gave them to me,
Yeah.
and told me what to do with them. And I said, well, forget that, I'll just save them. So I put them in the back of the amp, and when I called Robert, years later, I said, look at the back of Joe's amp and see if there's strings in there. And he said, yes, there are. I said, bring it up to Capitol. He did. And there were 4.
Yeah.
And I said, do you need all 4? He said, no, just the E.
Yeah. I was gonna have it tested. I thought, see what it was.
And
Try to
you
get-
lost it?
I lost it, but the Ale worked just as well.
Yeah, but still, I had a complete set of your damn
well-
original strings.
And you lost it.
I thought it was in the case, and it's not.
But then we had another string company that we work with on our other types of strings, and they've come close to us, as close as we can get to what he was using before.
No, it really,
Because the
in
sound
all
was like,
honesty, sounds great.
It's still a little loose, but it'll be okay.
Can you remember the beginning? This is probably a foolish question.
yeah.
Everything that touches you? Remember they wanted to do a cover for the Lennon Sisters, and the bass man couldn't cut it, so they had to call you.
Is that association?
Association.